First at 6, COVID-19 cases are soaring to new heights in Oregon. The state once again shattered its single-day record with more than 7,600 cases reported today.
The state is now averaging more than 4,000 cases per day. That number has more than quadrupled since Christmas.
While cases are soaring, we're seeing more modest increases to hospitalizations, really a key figure here. There are currently 588 COVID-19 patients in Oregon hospitals, an increase of 65 from yesterday. Hospitalizations are up about 73% over the last 2 weeks.
Tonight, some local health experts are warning the worst of the pandemic may still be ahead of us.
Fox 12's Kendra Kent checked in with local hospitals today and joins us live tonight with what you need to know. Kendra?
Yeah, that's right, Pete. And many hospitals are once again choosing to delay elective procedures. Some are even going into their crisis staffing levels as they are trying to keep up with overwhelming demand at this time in the hospitals. Now, hospital officials say it all comes down to a few factors. More people with COVID are getting hospitalized. More hospital staff are out sick with COVID right now. And a lot of patients who should be leaving the hospitals aren't because they don't have another care facility to go to. Health officials and hospitals are once again crying out for help.
Right now, we are closer to crisis situation than we ever have been.
The warning that the most dire, worst case scenarios in all of the pandemic are still to come.
I think we are at the tip of it, and it could very well be the worst wave we have ever seen.
The Washington State Hospital Association on Thursday rang the alarm during a press conference, citing a whopping 88% increase of COVID cases in hospitals across the state. In Oregon, a similar story. The Oregon Health Authority reporting daily records of new COVID cases. And state data shows more people are critically ill and in the hospital with COVID now compared to this time last year, which all beg the question, why are hospitalizations up when more people than ever are vaccinated? Doctors point to a combination of factors. The new Omicron variant of COVID is highly transmissible, and the vaccines are less effective against preventing infection of the strain. Mix in large numbers of people who still remain unvaccinated, and don't forget this all comes as cities and states remain mostly open, with more in-person services than during prior waves of the disease. Doctors say, simply put, when there are more cases of the virus out there, it's inevitable that more people will be in the hospital. And it gets worse.
Staffing is incredibly tight. And one thing that is new for us is we have a lot of hospital staff who are sick, who have tested positive.
Previously understaffed hospitals are now under unprecedented strain. OHSU says a record number of staff are calling out sick.
We are full. We're using every bed we have, and we can staff. We're using an overflow area now.
Grim news, as many assumed 2022 would be better.
We still are below the Delta peak for hospitalizations, but the rate of acceleration is very, very alarming.
And it is important to remember to keep this all in perspective. So I'm going to throw out a few more numbers here. The overwhelming majority of people who get COVID-19 in Oregon do recover. Just about 1.3% of cases have resulted in deaths. And of those deaths, 92% of them had underlying conditions. Now, with Omicron, doctors and scientists say although it does spread faster and more successfully, symptoms overall usually are more mild. They say getting the vaccine can keep you from getting sicker and from dying from the virus. Reporting live tonight in Washington County, Kendra Kent, Fox 12 Oregon.